We're in Boston. No, we're not. We're in Waltham. You guys are crooked. So we are in Waltham at the doctor's. We went to, it's like a sleep study clinic. And so she saw Azariah, and we had an appointment tomorrow at Boston Children's in Boston, but they canceled that like as we were here. So I was like, oh goodness, like we planned on staying over tonight in Boston, and yeah, so then I didn't know what to do, and then they called me back and they said that they can do an appointment here in Waltham at 4 for the same type of appointment. So I said we will do that, and then we will go and go to where we're gonna stay the night. And then I actually have like a small thing that I need to check in with some people tomorrow morning over at the hospital. It's not an appointment, but I have to get some like insurance things straightened out. Hopefully like get somebody to speak to get all those supplies situated, because it's still not situated. I want to talk to somebody like face to face if at all possible. So that is where we're at, and we are just trying to kill time because we got out at 1:45 and our next appointment isn't until 4. So we are walking around the block. It's really pretty. There's a really pretty like stone wall around here, and also like up the road, if we had the kids with us, then we'd be able to take the kids up to the playground, which would be really nice. We only have my daughter who's 13 and then my daughter who is 20. Yes, 20. I was thinking 21, but no, she's not 21 yet. Almost. And Azariah is below you guys in the stroller, in the new stroller. He is loving it. Actually, the doctor said something. Actually, she's an NP. She's like, I love your stroller, mainly because there's so much space underneath it if you use it as a single stroller. I'll show that. So Mr. He is really high up. See how high up like to somebody's waist it is, which is nice for changing diapers and everything, him just being so close up. But we can fit so much stuff. So the other stroller, the other seat would fit here if we had 2 people on, but we don't. So we have like all supplies underneath there. So much space, so much space. The NP was saying that it would be great for parents who had children with a trach, and I think she's 100% correct because there's so much space underneath. All right, let's go for a walk.
Oh, and
Isn't
then
that
the
pretty
van.
cool? So the sleep study people, I don't know if I shared this or not, but when we left the hospital, they were wanting to do an additional sleep study with a BiPAP on, but they wanted to take off all oxygen in order to do this sleep study. And I was very leery on taking off his oxygen completely to see if he could handle that, because he had a really rough time doing that before. And he basically was desatting and then could not recover from the desats for about 12 hours after the original time of trying to do that. So I had spoke with them about that when they did the sleep study before, that I didn't want him to be off the oxygen, and they did the sleep study, but they did not do the part with the CPAP or a BiPAP. So that was, I guess, kind of an issue. My little quiet piece became no longer my little quiet piece. There's a bunch of traffic now. So it smells like mulch. I love that smell, like cedar mulch. So they had said that they wanted to do the sleep study with the BiPAP without the oxygen, and I just said, I don't know how I feel about that. I spoke with the complex care team and they felt comfortable with me going home and doing things on an outpatient. So this was actually that appointment here. Okay, found another seat. So they had said that they wanted to do the study again at some point, but they felt comfortable with the way his DSATs were, because most of them were not central sleep apnea. He had very few central sleep apnea DSATs. It was more obstructive sleep apnea, which is when like your body gets like not tired, but when you're sleepy, like if you already have weak muscle tone, then sometimes like maybe the airway flops over, or there could be a bunch of different reasons. But because the amount of DSATs that he had, that they felt comfortable having him come home and then do things on an outpatient basis. So I spoke to the sleep apnea team today, and the NP was really, really sweet. She explained things, and then she explained why she thought like different things were a good idea. I explained like my concerns, and she agreed. Really sweet. So basically we're going to do a sleep study whenever they have a sleep study available, but we're not going to take him off of the oxygen. My thoughts are this: if he had a sleep study, normally what they would do is they would take them off the oxygen to see how they do, and then on the later half of the night, then they would do a either a CPAP or a BiPAP to see how they do. But where he has such a hard time like recovering from that, if he was to go off oxygen, he'd have a hard time recovering, and we don't expect that he's going to be going off of the oxygen, that we are actually going to just leave him on the oxygen for the first part of the night, just to observe him, and then put him, they have it written right now as a CPAP study, but she really feels like it would be better to have him on a BiPAP study first rather than doing a CPAP then a BiPAP. She feels that it would just be better just to start him off on a BiPAP, especially where I'm not opposed to that. Some parents are very opposed to a child being on a BiPAP versus a CPAP, and he may not need either. It's just an evaluation of how he is. So they would want to like do that, because that will allow like the airway to be like almost forced open at nighttime in order to allow him to have that positive pressure in those areas, so that he would have a better time breathing overnight. So that is the plan. We are going to be waiting for that appointment. She did a referral for pulmonary. I've had a referral since the beginning for pulmonary, but they have not actually scheduled me an appointment. Another place has also tried to get me into pulmonary, and they have not. So she's trying, and then I am just going to try. I'm going to make it on my calendar that I call them every few days, like, hey, do you have an appointment yet? Hey, have you had any cancellations? To get him into pulmonary, because we just want to keep him checked out. What she does is basically just for infants. So as he gets older, then he would need to like be with the pulmonary team anyway. So yeah, we basically just want a big overall view of what's best for him. They also would talk about like positive, I forget what she called it. I don't know. My son had a cough assist machine and a BiPAP and like a chest vest. And so right now she's just saying like we should just like be doing, like petting like with a cupped hand on his chest to try to loosen things up. But he does have an okay cough. He does okay. We just want to keep everything like in that whole airway and stuff loosened up, where he doesn't have the tone as of right now. So that's that. I'm trying to think of other things. I'm trying to decide if that's all we talked about today. So yeah, we're just waiting for that. We'll wait for that appointment and then go from there and see if he'll need BiPAP. It's very common for kids with trisomy 18 to need a BiPAP. They just have overall low muscle tone, period, and it helps them sleep better and have a better quality of sleep. So, and it's good to start them off younger so they get used to having equipment on their head at nighttime. So that's that. We are going to OT after. We're supposed to go to OT to like have them evaluate his braces and do all those things. And the lady that did his braces prior was supposed to see him. We had the appointment set for like 3 months, and apparently she called out, I'm pretty sure, because I got a phone call today, which is like, we're supposed to have it tomorrow morning, and the appointment wasn't available. So they're going to have us see somebody else in this other office, which I've never seen. gonna make sure that I brought his, I didn't bring his hand braces. I just don't remember if I put them in this bag. So I'm gonna check and make sure that they're in the bag. If not, I'll go to the parking garage and grab his braces so we'll have them ready for the appointment. Anyway, I'll probably go over there, sit in the office. We just didn't want to sit in the office for 2 hours. I think by the time we walk over there, it'll be like an hour. Maybe it'll get us in a little early. I don't know. Anyway, we'll probably stay overnight at the housing place that we planned on staying at. Yeah. Anyhow, that's about it. I'll let you know how the OT appointment goes. Gonna go up to the top, sir.
Then it stops and then it doesn't get on. No.
And he's laughing.
It stops in the middle, that's all. No, it's not. It's not what's that.
Oh, it stopped on the top, Azariah. Oh, look. It's a parking garage. Okay. Ready to go down? Oh, wait, was it 2? I think it was, because 1 is the bottom. He likes it, look. Wee, so fun. Vibration, my goodness. It's actually a really pretty campus. There's like, we walked around the block, but like there's so much greenery and flowers and stuff. So we walked for a little bit and then we're gonna go in the office. So guys, I ended up not filming the rest of this video. I don't even know what I did. I took a bunch of pictures, but it just came out funky like for the videos. So the rest of that day, he got this brace made new. He wears these. So if you remember when he was born, his hands were kind of like this and touching his actual forearm there. So you can see how well his hands are now, and he's able to like move his hands and like move it around. He's not grasping things yet, but he is able to like swat at things, and he can move his hand and like flex it. So if he is sleeping, then we usually would put these on so when it's in a resting position. Other than that, they want him to be able to flex his hand as much as possible. So we got one made, and he'll be getting the other one made next week. This week. Next week. So that is about the update for the week. I should have actually put this one up before the one that I just put up, because I had filmed them both and I couldn't find the other parts. It's been a little crazy because of course, I know this has happened to you guys. You take a bunch of footage or you take a bunch of pictures, and then all of a sudden your camera says, oh, you have no space left. So that's what happened. So I was weeding through a bunch of different things, and some things got weeded that I don't think should have been weeded, and then others got in other places that it was one of those types of things, because I know that some of you it's happened to before. Anyhow, this video should have come out before Saturday's update video, because this happened before Saturday's update video, and then Saturday's happened. So, but close enough to each other. It was all within, I think, like the same week. Yes. Okay, so I hope this video blesses you. He got his little brace. He'll be getting the next one next week, and I will show these on. Did I take your toys away so everyone can see your cute face? So we put your hand in here, yeah, and there's some in there, and we hold it, and then we put it on. There we go, yay, good job.